Our next speaker is a thought leader in the world of financial services. We are super excited to have the next speaker with us here today. It's the first time that the speaker is speaking at South Summit, and we have an entire track on Fintech, as you know, this year at South Summit. So after lunch, the entire Fintech track is going to continue in the playground stage right in front. So you want to get into the detail of what's going on in the world of Fintech. It's all happening after lunch across the way in the playground stage. It is with my absolute pleasure that I introduce to you Carlos Torres. Por favor, al escenario is CEO of BBVA. Carlos has been heavily involved in founding BBVA Ventures and also been leading their digital strategy for the bank and now leading the bank as CEO. Carlos, thank you for being here. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Liz. And good morning, everyone. It's quite a treat to have a band introduce me. I think it's a primer, the first ever. I'm going to be briefly talking to you about what's going on, in our view, in finance, in the finance world, which is quite a major transformation, and what BBVA is doing about it, which in summary is that we're transforming internally in a very significant way, and that we are reaching out to the entrepreneurs like yourselves, to connect and leverage the external ideas to speed up that transformation process. So it's great to be here. Thank you very much to the organizers, to Maria in particular, and thank you all for listening. The industry is changing, of course, very much so on the macro side because of the environment, but also because of technology. Now, we have in much of the world, much of the developed world for sure, a very strange situation with negative interest rates in the Eurozone, very low interest rates in America, negative rates in Japan, etc. And that's a situation that is causing a lot of problems for a lot of banks. But what we believe is that the force of technology is pushing for change, which is of another dimension, much, much greater, and it's if anything, accelerating the impact of the other changes or the unseen situations. So technology is changing customer behaviors. That's very evident when we look at traffic in our branches. We have almost 10,000 branches across the globe. It's coming down, and what we see coming up is the usage of mobile in particular and other digital channels. So that's the most obvious one. In the US already last year, in 2015, banking through the mobile was larger than through branches. Other technologies are really transforming it in a deeper way, not just the relationship or the interaction, but what can be done with data, for example, the abundance of data we have and the big data techniques, the AI, the machine learning and the algorithms, cloud technologies to store data and compute it in a cheaper way, more efficient way, biometrics, natural language, you name it, blockchain. So all of those technologies are having profound impact already in transforming what can be done and in transforming customer behaviors. And thanks to this, what we're seeing is the emergence of a lot of players that are unbundling what banking has been, because you are doing a lot of what you guys are doing, the entrepreneurs, what the banking industry has been doing for ages, but just in a better way. And this is happening in payments, very obvious, but it's happening in lending, it's happening in savings, wealth management, in brokerage, in supply chain finance, you name it, FX, across the value chain. Still, very small companies, I would say, in relative or absolute terms. We're talking small percentage points of market share, but significant amount of money, as you can see, flowing into them, exponential growth patterns. So all of that is really eroding, and I think that's the right word, what has been the standard model for a bank like BBVA, the rest of the industry as well. We own the relationship, we really bank our customers across multiple products. Now we have these attackers doing it better, cheaper, faster, and just better, solving the customer need in each one of the verticals that are typically the attackers focus on the juiciest part. So we're left with negative interest rates and then difficulty of earning money because others are taking away share of wallet. It's also, technology is also reducing, and this is very important, the barriers to switch, which have been traditionally large, and still is a very inertial business, banking. People don't like to switch or change their bank account. It's quite a pain. It has been quite a pain, and people don't want to mess with their finance in a way that can be risky. Now that is changing also because of technology. So we will be seeing now, and we're already seeing that customers are banking across many of these fintech startups. We as incumbents, and the entire industry, I would say, so this is not in particular to us, but face many obstacles in tackling this change, tackling this transformation. We are very conservative, which could be a good thing. You don't want to, as I was saying, you don't want to be too innovative with your money in case something bad happens, but that could be a drag for innovation. Corporate culture, which is very established, very inertial. We've been very successful, so we are, in that sense, not very keen on change. We lack some of the competencies, some of the disciplines that we need to succeed. Data scientists, engineers, designers. So those are things that banks typically have not invested in, and now we need to invest in. And we have a lot of legacy systems, so the tech stack is not clean, to say the least. So those are the challenges that will make it hard for most of the competitors to survive, in our view. We're already seeing a drop in the number of banks as the industry concentrates. We believe that we will see more of that. So there will be, at first we're seeing unbundling, fragmentation, new entrants coming in, attacking different parts of the value chain. Increasingly though, the customer relationship, we believe, will rebundle, and there will be big competitors that develop platforms on top of which the product providers sit, and our aspiration is to be there. So that leads me into the transformation journey that BBVA is in, which is to really become a very different type of company. We, like the rest, our customers are not so much interested in keeping their money at the bank. That's, of course, a given. That's a very simple value prop that we have offered in the past. And our customers, of course, want to use the money they have at the bank as they go around their life, or as they run their business. They have to make collections. They have to make payments to suppliers. Of course, all of that should happen. And we have been making money off of offering that value prop. But increasingly, we see that as something which customers are not willing to pay for much, and it will be very much commoditized. The value will be in doing something different, in really supporting our customers throughout their business or their life, in their decision making. And that is what we want to become. We want to have a true impact on our customers' life or business, but by assisting them in their life, in their decision making around money, or in their business, taking away a lot of the activity, a lot of the effort they have to put in today to run their finances, which is not their business, really. And in life, for people, very clearly, there is a big job to be done. People, all of us, I would say, definitely me, we make a pretty bad job of planning our financial life and then executing that plan. Planning is boring. Planning you need knowledge. Executing a plan needs discipline. It's even harder than dieting. So this is a major cause of stress, and people just do it wrong time and time again. So there's a big problem to be solved. This will be mostly an AI problem with data, and that's where we're going. That's what BBVA hopes to be. We believe we are in the age of opportunity today because of technology. We want to be an engine of opportunity, taking care of the financial side of things. And really our purpose as an organization, our why, is to bring that age of opportunity to everyone. So, huge opportunity, we believe, but very different value prop from keeping the money safe and letting people use it. Of course, we have huge competition targeting the same thing, as everything AI will be sort of collapsing in the middle. Now, in order to have impact, in order to move ahead in this transformation, at BBVA we have defined a very simple framework of 6 strategic priorities that guide where we want to have impact. So it's not the strategy itself, but it is the places, the domains where we expect strategy to have an impact. Number one, foremost, core to the purpose I just described, is the focus on customer experience. We measure that through the Net Promoter Score primarily, but it's one of the core. Driving digital sales, pretty obvious, very different from driving network-based sales, so it's a big change. New digital businesses, which is very appropriate for the forum. I will talk a lot about that, how we are cooperating and working with startups, and how we want to be doing much more of that. If you're interested, if you have a solution, please come talk to us. And then the other three are more conventional, very important. Optimal capital allocation. Capital is a scarce resource in banking. It has been, but it has been less. Now, the capital requirements have more than doubled in the last 5 or 6 years. So we need to make sure we make good use of that. Pretty basic, but very important in our decision making. Efficiency. Technology will help us in adapting the distribution model, which needs some change because of what I'm saying. The operations, a lot of potential to automate, robotics, robotic process automation. And then the engineering model, which is also in flux as we embrace cloud technologies and really move to infrastructure as a service and platforms as a service instead of proprietary infrastructure, proprietary core banking systems, which were not cloud-based. And then finally, a first-class workforce, which is what's really wrapping it all up. So it's all about talent. We're changing the mix, and we are unleashing the talent from within by adapting our cultural, our ways. We're really moving to a project-based organization versus the traditional banking, functionally based organization. We have promoting a lot of cooperation across units and really embracing agile in all of our developments across the world in the dozen countries where we have major banking operations. A couple of thoughts on the first three. On the best customer experience, I already talked, NPS is the metric we use. We aspire to be the leading bank in terms of Net Promoter Score, and we are there in many of the markets where we operate. We are evolving the model of relationship, so it's the more visual thing of how the customer connects with us. Used to be branch-based, now it's very much mobile-based. We also have a very successful model of remote managers that are really managing clients with the support of the mobile banking app, mobile banking infrastructure for remote signatures, for secure chats, secure authentication through the mobile app, so you can contact your remote managers from the app, etc. So many functionalities around that. Investing in design, investing in data, in AI, as I already mentioned. Both of those to ensure that the customer experience is as good as it can be. It's really an amazing experience, which is the expectation today, and that we leverage data to bring insights so our customers can really make the right decisions with their money. That's really the core of the value. And then we're every 3 months in every market, we're adding new functionalities as we finish the sort of the product increments on that cycle, on that 3-month cycle. So this is what we call here in Spain the revolution of the small things. We had the ad campaign about it, and it's really amazing how every 3 months the app changes in big ways, and we allow our customers to do things that they were not able to do before. Creating amazing, I was saying that's the expectation of our customers. We have changed the creation model very much. This is not completely there, but in many of our banks it is, and it's taking over the old creation model. So in order to create amazing, we focus really on the problem to be solved and developing a solution for it that works for the customer. We start with the human, with the experience. It has to work for people. And then, of course, we need technology to build it, but we do it through a rapid prototyping, much faster iteration. And then, at the end, we figure out a way to monetize it. So the business element comes last, which is exactly the reverse of what most banks do and what we had been doing, which is you start with the business and the monetization, and you want to make money for the bank, and then you build it, and then maybe sometime down the road you think about the person or the customer that needs to use it. Digital sales, amazing curves, still very low in my mind, so our aspiration is to grow this exponentially But as you can see, we were at single digits last year. Now we are 15 to 25% of our sales, total sales of our banks go through digital. 24% in Turkey, 12% in Mexico, 15% in Spain. So this is really growing. And then we're developing new digital businesses. The third priority, we're focusing on some of the verticals that you see here. Payments, of course, neobanks. Anthony Thompson will be speaking right after me. He's the chairman of Atom, the first mobile, UK mobile-only bank. We are investors in Atom. We own 29.5%. So it's just one example of what we're doing in new digital businesses. Wealth management, identity, lending, and then, very important, I'll talk a little bit more about the open platform. So we're using a range of ways to interact with the ecosystem. We're we're investing in, like at the Atom example, we're buying companies like Simple or Holvi. We have some strategic partners, and we're building more partnerships. We have a venture capital arm, Propel, and we're also incubating internally. The internal incubation we're doing also through a mix of ways. We have a foundry, sort of the truly internal talent that has ideas, and then we support and incubate. We're also bringing in entrepreneurs in residence, so external ideas that they come in and incubate with us, and they have the advantage of the know-how on the business of BBVA and the resources that we have and the client base, which is at easy reach. And then we also have some co-creation with third parties. Strategic partnerships, we're very open to that, and we have a few open. We also have some talent competitions. We just finished the Open Talent, and the 6 winner companies are, in fact, this week in Madrid, talking to BBVA in order to see how they can cooperate with us, and really we can bring them to market in a faster way. Digital M&A, I talked about Atom. We also own Simple. In the US, we own 100% of that. We have invested in Holvi, which is an online banking service for SMEs here in Europe. We also bought a few companies that build our capabilities, like Spring Studio, a world-class design studio in San Francisco, or Madiva here in Spain, a big data company that has reinforced our capabilities in there. Propel, the venture capital fund, is an external fund. So it's a general partner managing that for BBVA, about a dozen companies in the portfolio, very successful so far, both financially and, what's more important, strategically, to be on top of what's happening in the market. You can see some of the names there where we have invested. And then the most important slide, I should say, is this open platform thing. So I was saying at the beginning that the industry is unbundling. What we believe in is the modularization of finance, so that we can really expose small modules that third parties can use to build their own offering for customers. And we're doing that through APIs, and already have a few companies connected and a few services open. You can log into the BBVA open market, which is, I think it's BBVAAPImarket.com, and you have the booth here as well. Raul can show you what APIs we have exposed. The idea is to expose the whole bank so that any entrepreneur with an idea that wants to do something in finance doesn't need to be a bank, doesn't want to be a bank, doesn't want to be regulated. We can take care of that in the back end, and we can become a platform on top of which entrepreneurs can build their own idea and leverage the license, leverage the operations, leverage the technology stack and the core banking platform of BBVA. So in conclusion, the industry is changing in a big way, much bigger than what we see in the macro side, which is big itself, because of technology. And what's important is not technology itself, but what it does to relationships with customers, what it does to the value we can add to them. BBVA, we have spotted this quite a while ago. It's a big challenge. I described some of the challenges that a legacy bank has, but we are squarely focused on this transformation to being a better bank for our customers, by helping them in their life in a positive way or in their business, bringing the age of opportunity to everyone. And in order to do that, we're doing many things internally, but we're also very active in the innovation ecosystem by buying, partnering with, cooperating with, or investing in startups, including the opening up of our back-end system to third parties that need a banking service for their own offering, which is that open platform strategy. So I'll leave you with that. And again, thank you for your attention, and thank you for the invitation to Maria and to the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Carlos.